Right, question number 3. So, now you are aware that this is based on a pre-scene given. So, already a pre-scene is been given, and based on that you have to answer this one. But there are some additional information given. So, you have to connect this additional information given with the pre-scene, right. So, how many questions given in these questions? How many parts included in the part question number 3 actually? There are 5, no? A, B, C, D, E. So, each carry high marks, no? First one 12 marks, second one 8 marks, third one 10 marks, fourth one 10 marks, fifth one 10 marks. So, these are the most important questions. Your exam success depend on this. As per my knowledge, many students have failed to address the requirement of this properly. They have struggled in this area. So, one of the contributing factor for that one is less preparation with the pre-scene. So, at least you have to go through 5 times, no, with the pre-scene, and you should have done the different analysis by yourself, right. You should have done the different analysis by yourself, and should be ready. At least 60 to 70 analysis can be done, right. So, then some of the point you can already cover, you can cover actually, right. So, what is the pre-scene given? We will look at the pre-scene also very quickly. Yeah? So, otherwise this will take 2 hours. So, we do not have much time. So, quickly we will look at about this pre-scene given. The company name is Ceylon Ayurveda Private Limited. So, this was established 1979. This was established by the Heras family, and they normally have a product like healthcare product, Ayurvedic pharmaceutical, herbal beauty products, oil and beverages. Their head office is located in Kandy, and they have 2 different lands, agriculture plot of lands, one in Kandy, other one is Paduk. Main factory in Kandy, second factory in Paduk. They also export product to the overseas market. They start that one in 2003 actually. Today this company is a research based company. The MD and chairman is Saman Herath in these organizations. At the same time, board consists of Saman's sons, Ruwan and the daughter. So, Ruwan joined the business after completing his degree in agriculture practice from the University of Peradeniya. Then Hansini had a master's in marketing and handled business development and overseas expansions. Saman is 75 years old, is an entrepreneur and qualified Ayurvedic doctor. So, they have set up research and development center in 2021-2022. Objective is to come up with a new product, high standard new product, and they plan to implement TQM system also due to this customer complaint about the product quality. There are some legal cases also against the company. The Heras family own 80% of the business, son, father and daughter. So, then overseas investor purchased 20% of the shares in 2021. Saman sold his shares, and objective was to focus on ESG aspects, and company hopes to seek a listing on the Dirisavi board next year. Saman Herath is having 40% share, Ruwan Herath 20%, Hansini 20, son 20%, daughter 20%. No, that 4 in 1, 20%. Then governance and human resources, they have 500 employees. At the same time, they have taken some employees from manpower companies, 2 manpower companies. So, there is a complaint actually of some of the employees who work in the manpower companies that they are statutory payment like EPF, PTFs are not paid by this manpower company. Normally, our company has high labor turnover. So, we expect to get some ISO standard to improve our quality. So, there are nearly 100 staffs in the executive and above categories. So, what are the issues highlighted by this due diligence exercise? So, we normally had an outdated information technology infrastructure. We have used unlicensed softwares. There are lack of independent directors on the board, lack of enterprise risk management framework, lack of document policies and procedures, lack of an audit committee, that is governance issue. No? Then AGM have not been held, board minutes not maintained. They plan to list the company in the Dirisavi board by issuing new shares in the next financial year, diluting their share ownerships. So, recently there was audit carried out by Central Environment Authority, and they also revealed some of the issues related with the company and give time deadline of 6 months. Otherwise, they will stop the license, revoke the license right. So, they have many stakeholders. So, we have not correctly identified their interest and address. Governance is not good. So, our product categories are given healthcare, pharmaceutical, herbal beauty product, essential oil, beverages. Then product wise revenue contribution is also given, healthcare 25%, pharmaceutical 15%, herbal beauty products 20%, essential oil 35%, beverages 5%. So, what is the highest contributor area? That essential oil, no? Pharmaceutical turnover show a 50% increase in 2021 compared with the previous year. So, there is a demand for the essential oil in overseas market also. Essential oil market has grown by 25%. Hansini prepare a business plan to expand the business activities. So, they try to appoint 5 new distributors, but there are some issues actually, there are some fraud took place in the organizations involving 2 distributors actually. So, number of outlet they have planned is 2 for the 2021-23. So, normally investment for outlet is 20 million. So, our medicinal plant cultivation is taken place in Western Province and Central Province. There are 400 small scale farmers who work with us. The raw material, the company use many types of raw material in its manufacturing process as follows: extract of natural ingredient, natural product, herbal material, additives. Right. So, company plan to introduce a new software to automate the processes. Capital expenditure, so that has been increased. Increase in assets for mainly due to construction of R&D center. Asset increase because of establishing this R&D center. Some of the factory capacity also increase. So, we have established R&D center through a bank borrowing. So, borrowing have been increased by millions, that means gearing has been increased. So, these bank loans were obtained for a period of 5 years at the rate of 7% per annum for the first 3 years and at a variable rate for 4th and 5th years. Information technology, so they have a new ERP system, they are planning to procure a new ERP system, and CFO is keen to implement robotic process automation and business intelligence system. Company spend nearly 27% of its turnover in distribution expenses, and CFO want to appoint a consultant to carry out a business process and engineering exercise to optimize cost in this area. Accounting and finance. So, CAPL currently use an outdated version of ACFAX, issues with the accounting software they use. So, they have a fully integrated ERP system, but the problem is still they have not used that one properly. Ethics, health and safety, there are several complaints on the quality of the product of CAPL. Therefore, they have planned to conduct a qualified quality assurance, they have planned to recruit a qualified quality assurance manager and plan to get some ISO certificate also on quality. The CFO is a CA member, he is also having some concern about the accounting practices. Then the financial data are given, so less impact for us. Then they have given some information about our board members, that is for corporate governance. Then they have given the industry overview, so we will not go through that, right. So, that is free scene. I took 15 minutes to discuss that. And we look at about the unseen part also given in the exam. What did it say? In addition to the information provided in the free scene in connection to Ceylon Marble Private Limited, you are provided with the following additional informations. Some additional information is given. What are the additional information given? Central Bank of Sri Lanka has devalued the rupee, taking one of the several steps analysis said are needed to secure the IMF loan program that would boost current reserve and help negotiate debt restructuring. We all know this story. However, as of now, the rupee has depreciated against the USD, creating both positive and negative impact on CAPL operations. However, as of now, the rupee has depreciated against the USD, creating both positive and negative impact on CAPL operations, as the company plays both import and export role. Now, we all know rupee has been depreciated. That is general information. The following changes then occur in relation to management team of CAPL. This first two para actually talk about this macro environment changes happening in Sri Lanka, well known facts. Now exam is going to talk about some of the changes happen in the management team of CAPL. See, someone tested positive for COVID-19 at the beginning of May 2022. Someone tested positive for COVID-19 at the beginning of May 2022. After his recovery, he called for a board meeting to express his willingness to step down from the board due to his advanced age, 75 years old now. One took over the company in mid-May 2022 with the intention of taking it to the next level, that is son. To Dr. Sankar Veerasuri is due to retire from CAPL in August 2022 upon reaching 60 years of age, and therefore Dr. Arjun Aladenia was recruited as a head of research and development to replace his position. A new guy has been recruited. Dr. Arjuna is supposed to work in parallel with Dr. Sankar for a period of 1 month until his retirement in order to facilitate a smooth transition of duties. Pavitra Kolde was recruited as the Quality Assurance Manager in mid-June 2022 to enhance the quality assurance programs at CAPL. Some of the changes happening actually. This head of research and development is changing. Then we recruit new guy. As quality assurance manager, because there are some quality issues we have faced now, to enhance the quality assurance program at CAPL. Pavitra actually, lady, she has more than 15 years of industry experience, and he is a family friend of Hera's family. At the recently concluded management meeting, the following important strategic concerns were discussed. How to effectively manage the importation of plant material required by the company, as authorities have imposed restriction import and have strict surveillance on the opening of letters of credit, LCs. One of the issues we all face these days. This has slowed down production due to delays in the supply of plant material needed for the production process. It has also been suggested that the forex risk due to the rupee devaluation need to be mitigated. Our is transaction risk, no? To develop new mechanism to identify plant and plant part used in commercial herbal cosmetic product in Sri Lanka, especially under the categories of skin care, hair care and oral care. One pointed out that the supply of herbal cosmetic product from Sri Lanka is still very limited. One pointed out that the supply of herbal cosmetic product from Sri Lanka is still very limited. There are ample opportunities for CAPL to expand its herbal cosmetic product through Sri Lanka unique biodiversity of medicinal flora and rich base of traditional knowledge. To give priority to Ayurvedic pharmaceutical and essential oil, Hansini has suggested to apply the ENSOP matrix to generate alternative strategies for CAPL growth. Dr. Arjun emphasized that R&D particularly important for CAPL, whose commercial success depend heavily on the ability to bring a successful innovative product to the market. We also point out that there could be several potential problems with the management of R&D within CAPL, and those problems would need to be addressed immediately. Yes, there are some issues with this research and development now. CFO presented the importance of having risk mitigation strategy for international expansion. He also highlighted that CAPL need to be aware of factors encouraging the internationalization of a business in the current context. These points are developed to test questions. Later I will show you the questions on this. Ruan stressed the importance of purchasing a new ERP software to automate all operations. He further agreed with the CFO on implementing robotic process automation and business intelligence in the company. The IT manager demonstrated the importance of cloud and mobile technology in relation to assessing greater level of processing power. Pavitra outlined the adoption of the Six Sigma approach to eliminate defects from products and enable operation to achieve near perfection. She also highlighted the importance of both process improvement and process design. Now I just want to emphasize for you stuffs. Now, if you look at about this information given, now look at this point. To give priority on Ayurvedic pharmaceutical and essential oil, Hansini has suggested to apply the ENSOP matrix to generate alternative strategies for CAPL group. Now, see part A depend on that, based on that. Analyze the strategies that CAPL can use based on ENSOP metric amid the prevailing economic downturn in Sri Lanka. Right. Then look at the next point. Next point is R&D, importance of the R&D. R&D, and say that there are some issues with R&D. Right. That part is connected with the next part. Look at this one. B. Assess the potential problem that could arise with the management of R&D within CAPL by considering the background detail of the company. 8 marks. And the third one, new share issue funds are expected to be used to increase the production capacity of CPL to meet the demand of overseas expansion outside the home market. Analyze the decision of CPL to expand the business in new global market using the 5 reasons suggested by Omai. Is there any point on that one? Yes, yes, look at this one. CFO for next point, CFO percent the importance of having risk mitigation strategies for international expansion. He also highlighted that CPL need to be aware of the factors encouraging the internationalization of a business in the current context. The international part are tested from that C model, right, 5 C's should be used. Look at the next one. Demonstrate how cloud computing boasts benefit for CPL business in the context of new development associated in the digital business world. So, next para he talk about that one. One, stress the importance of purchasing a new ERP software to automate all operation. He further agreed with the CFO to implement robotic process automation business in the company. The identity manager demonstrate the importance of cloud and mobile technology in relation to assessing greater level of processing power. IT manager demonstrate the importance of cloud and mobile technology in relation to assessing greater level of processing power. That is based on that node E. Then E, try to outline the adoption of the Six Sigma approach to eliminate defects from products and enable operation to achieve near perfections. Is that based on Six Sigma? C, describe how the Six Sigma approach can be used to make incremental improvement to the existing process in order to aid the implementation of international quality standard in the company. So, see this all these 5 are, so there are few points given and test the theory then, right. Then how much affected the information given for you? I do not think so, the other information given is have more impact on you. Only about this macro environment factors, when you are answering this answer one, you can think on that one, but less relevance actually. Less relevance of those points. So, what you can do here is actually, right, so you have to apply all these theories you have learned with the pre-scene given, then that will be tested in the exam. Out of some of the theories you have analyzed will be tested in the exam, right. So, there are some, there are no informations that can be, right, customized actually here, right. So, therefore, it is very important to work with the free scene given, right. Right. Part A. So, whatever the part A, analyze the strategies that CPL can use based on the ANSOP matrix as suggested by Ansini amid the prevailing economic downturn in Sri Lanka. So, whatever the ANSOP matrix, shall we look at about the theory part a little bit? the existing product, we will say. So, below the product variable can be existing product owning product, then market can be existing market or new market, existing or new market. So, one of the strategies is to achieve the success in the existing market with existing products. No? It is called market penetration strategy. Market penetration strategy. Or introduce a new product to the existing market. That is another strategy. No? That is called product development strategy. Product development strategy. Or go into a new market with the existing product, that is called market development. Market development. Then the other one, product is new, at the same time market is also new, that is called diversifications. Diversifications. Normally diversification are two types, related diversification and unrelated diversifications. Related, then unrelated. Related mean you are not going out of the broad definition of your existing industry. Unrelated mean you are going to a completely different industry. Related can be two types, vertical expansions, other one is horizontal expansions. Vertical expansions mean within the existing supply chain you go forward or backward. So, within that you can find two strategies, that is forward integration, that is starting to do the work of the distributor, that is forward integration, other one is backward integrations. You start to work of the supplier. Right. Horizontal mean you started to do some complementary or competitive work with the existing products. Right. These are theory parts we have learned on this. So, what we can do for the part A? So, based on the answer, so what type of strategies we can apply? So, one is market penetration strategy. We can work with the market penetration strategy here. So, what we can do is we can focus on some strategies like sales promotions, or we will say new distribution strategy, or maybe new packaging strategy. Through that one we can try to increase the market share within the existing marketplace. That is one strategy available for us. In product development, that will be ideal strategy, since we have established a new research and development unit also, we can come up with some new products and can introduce to the existing market, to Sri Lankan market for example. Then the other one is this market development. So, in the market development, what we can do is we can go to some new market, already we are exporting our products, then we can select some of the market we have not served before, and then we can introduce our existing product to that. This diversification should be carefully analyzed here, since it is the most riskiest strategy, right. So, maybe less applicable to these organizations compared with the other strategy based on the current situations they have, right. Right. Shall we look at what the examiner tell on this also? What about the examiner's answer on this? So, we explain the answer metric for you and identify the strategies available. Then we will say application side, this is the theory part. Right. So, market penetration is one strategy they have. Right. This is theory again, this increase or maintain the market share, secure dominance of growth market, restructure mature market by driving out competitors, increase usage by existing customers, that is theory actually. What about the applications here? This is a relatively low risk strategy since there are no capital investment. However, this strategy often produce only small improvement in company performance. It is all very well for a company trying to increase market share by cutting prices, but price cut might overweight volume growth. Besides, company will almost certainly respond by cutting their own price too. They can maintain their market place. I mean, that is not much successful strategy. That is what he is trying to communicate. Then market development. So, define what is market development. So, CPL could consider following option: new geographical and export market. That is one option available for them. No, go to Indian market for example, if we have not previously operated in there, or come up with different package size and try to capture some of the customers who are not previously customers, or add some new distribution channel, differential pricing policies. Right. Urban community as well as general public are now more interested in Ayurvedic product and treatment. Due to import restriction, there is a great opportunity for market development for herbal beauty products. Then product development. So, product development is the launch of new product to existing. This has several advantages. CPL can exploit existing marketing arrangement. Yes, they have already existing marketing arrangement. They can use that one. Then CPL should already have good knowledge of its customers and their want and habit. Company will be forced to respond. Cost of entry market will go up. That is theory actually. Again, theory part. We will see the application part. Develop a new mechanism by plant fund used in commercialized herbal cosmetic product in Sri Lanka, especially under categories of skin care, hair care and oral care. We want to point out that the supply of herbal cosmetic product from Sri Lanka is still very limited. There are ample opportunity for CAPL to expand its herbal cosmetic production through Sri Lanka unique biodiversity of medicinal flora and rich base of traditional knowledge. Look at this part. This is application extract from the questions. Right. I will show you this application for you. Now, see this first point. Now, see, to develop new mechanism to identify plant and plant fat used in commercialized herbal cosmetic product in Sri Lanka, especially under the categories of skin care, hair care and oral care. One point out that the supply of herbal cosmetic product from Sri Lanka is still very limited. There are ample opportunities for CPL to expand its herbal cosmetic production through Sri Lanka's unique biodiversity of medicinal flora and rich base of traditional knowledge. Look at this point has been extracted, no? That is applications, adaptation from the unseen. Now, then another point mentioned by the examiner is Unseen Executive Director Business Development Overseas Expansion has formulated a plan to expand the local distribution network. This plan includes appointing 5 new distributors this year. Then diversifications. So, this is theory part. CPL set up a research and development center in financially 21-22 develop new product to meet the high quality standard required by customer. That point has been extracted. The reserve funds are expected to be used to increase production capacity to meet the demand of overseas expansions. Right, that point also been given. Right. So, part A is over. Then part B, assess. What is the meaning of assess? Action verb. Assess. Determine the value, nature, ability or quality. Determine the value, nature, ability or quality. That is the potential problem that could arise with the management of R&D within CAPL by considering the background detail of the company. So, this is theory, guys, right. So, if I show you this one, this R&D, this should be there actually. Be technology part. Now, we discuss this one again. Yes, these are the problems, no, with R&D. Theory part, I am looking about your study facts. So, what are the problem with R&D? Organization and management is one problem. So, when R&D is a separate department, there may be problem with coordinating R&D activities, productions, sales and marketing. Now, if you look at about the information given, so see this, see there are some information given. Dr. Sankar Birasu is due to retire from CAPL in August 2020 upon reaching 60 years of age, and therefore, Dr. Arjuna Ala Tenia was recruited as a head of research and development to replace his positions. This academic guy, doctors, these are academic guys, no, right, PhD guys, so they may not be cope with others easily, right. So, that is one of the issues. They may have a separate culture actually. So, you can extract that point and mentions. Financial, another problems. R&D is by nature not easily planned in advance, and financial performance targets are not easily set. Budgeting for long-term complex development project with uncertain return can be very difficult for management consultant, accountant. When project take too long to complete or unfeasible problem arise, costs can get out of controls. Evaluation and controls, very difficult to evaluate the return, no. Cultural issues, these doctors guys may have their own culture and may not properly match with others, right. So, only little adjustment should be done here. So, what are the problem here? See, now adaptability is there here, right. CPL has a separate department for R&D headed by a PhD holder directly reporting to the chairman. When R&D is a separate department, there may be problem with coordinating R&D activity with production. Theory, no. Dr. Sankar is due to retire and Dr. Arjuna was recruited as head of research development. Dr. Arjuna will take time to adapt to CPL culture and its work practices. Then financial aspects, CPL incurred 450 million to construct R&D center. See, this is adaptation from the case itself, right. This was there, no, 400 million story. It was given in the unseen, no, one tree scene. Here see this information is there, 440 million. So, examine exact that one in answer. Right, CPL incurred 440 million to construct R&D center. The increase in asset was mainly due to the construction of R&D center. Therefore, during there was a huge investment in the R&D center. This could create a negative impact on the financial statement for the next 5 years, as the funding was done through a 5-year bank loan. R&D by nature cannot be easily planned, and finance performance targets are not easy to set. Budgeting for long-term complex development project with uncertain return can be very difficult for management accountant. When project take too long to complete to unforeseeable problem arise, cost can get out of control. Evaluation and control, so it will take time to get the return. Cultural issues, see this, unless the organization has an overall culture that favor innovation, there may be problem with different department culture. The R&D center has academic or university atmosphere as opposed to commercial one. The rest of the organization may be bureaucratic or conservative and hostile to experiment and risks of occasional failure. Both the outgoing head of R&D and the newly appointed are now PhD holders. Dr. Arjuna may take time to adapt to CPL organized culture. However, he is supposed to work in parallel with Dr. Sankar for a 1-month period to facilitate the small transitional duties. Work arrangement may help Dr. Arjuna to get familiarized with the CPL organizational culture. That is the applications. Right. Part C. New share issue funds are expected to be used to increase the production capacity of CPL to meet the demand of overseas expansion outside the home market. Unlike the decision of CPL to expand the business into new global market, use the 5 reasons suggested by OMI. I think 10 C's are there, no, if I am not mistaken. We will check that part. International market, no. Ah, 12 C's, sorry, 12 C's are there. Now, you have to talk about 5 C's out of that. Is fair, I think. You want to remember 5, no? This is the theory part. So, here have they given any country, specific country? No, no. So, they have not given any specific country. Right. We will see the examiner's answer. We have selected customer first. So, market convergence is driven by widespread customer demand for product with similar characteristics. Therefore, global brand can serve customers in many countries. When considering CPL, the demand for herbal product and medicine in international markets seem to be increasing considerably. People are now starting to believe more in traditional Ayurveda treatment than in Western medicine. Thus, herbal, cosmetic and medicine from South Asian region could have high demand in other markets. There may be high demand from the customer. So, that will be a suitable factor. Company, now here, right, so we are working with some of the research and development, and we have some cost advantage possibly. So, that is one of the reasons. Competitions, now here we can expect high competitions. So, but since we are operating for so many years in the some other export countries, we can easily compete, no. Currency risk is there here actually, right. So, because of this current economic crisis, no. Therefore, the company can manage the cash which come from the international market in a better way. So, when rupee is depreciate, that is advantage actually. So, our product become more competitive in the world market, no. So, there may be high exchange gain also. Country is another variable he has taken. So, when you are operating in different countries, it will allow you to get some competitive advantage. So, that is what examiner has included his answer. Right. In part D, whatever the part D, demonstrate how cloud computing boasts benefit for CPL business in the context of new development associated in the digital business world. Look at that carefully. Demonstrate how cloud computing boasts benefit for CPL business in the context of new development associated in digital business world. This is theory actually. You do not worry much on this. Right? You want to test this cloud computing knowledge from you. So, what is the advantage of cloud computing? So, we can look at our theory part here. Here see this cloud computing benefit is given in page number 422. So, what are the advantage given here? First one is self-service provisioning. End users can spin up computer resource for almost any type of workload or demand. This eliminates the traditional need for IT administration to provision and manage compute resources. You can increase the capacity very easily, without getting new servers. The second one, elasticity. So, you can increase or reduce very easily. When the demand is high, you can increase the capacity. When demand is low, you can decrease the capacity. Then pay per use, compute resources are measured at a granular level, enable users to pay only for the resource and workload they use. Based on the usage, you have to pay it. The next one is workload resilient. Cloud service provided open implement redundant resources to ensure resilient storage and keep users important workload running often across multiple global regions. Right. So, you have additional resources, storage facility, Then migration flexibility. So, easily you can migrate from one platform to another, right. So, these are the advantages. So, now the question is how this CPL can get this. Now, see, now look at adaptations here. So, see there are some points that IT manager has mentioned here. There was a sentence, the IT manager demonstrated the import of cloud and memory integration assessing greater level of processing power. That is the first point. See this one, first point. Elasticity. Workload resilience. Migration flexibility. There are some additional advantage also examiner has mentioned. Do more with less. So, with cloud computing, companies can reduce the size of their own data centers, so eliminate their data center footprint together. Flexible cost. With the aid of cloud computing, CPL users can get application to market quickly without worrying about the underlying infrastructure costs or maintenance. So, cloud computing help to lower operating cost. Then other one is very important, data security. The cloud providers have better security. So, that is another advantage you have. What is the last one is 6 sigma. So, what is the action verb here? Describe, that means we have to come up with a detailed answer. No? Describe how the Six Sigma approach can be used to make incremental improvement to the existing process. What is the meaning of that one? So, if you remember Six Sigma, we have discussed, if you look at the study facts, for example, there are two Six Sigma approaches. No? Two Six Sigma approaches. These are the two. One is making improvement in existing processes. This is incremental improvement. You are not going to change that one in major way. And the next one is come up with a new process for major redesign. Now, examiners clearly say here, describe how the Six Sigma approach can be used to make incremental improvement in existing processes in order to aid the implementation of international quality standard in the company. Right. So, here, so you have to adapt the improvement in existing process. So, there are 5 steps, no, DMA, IC. So, what are the 5 steps? Define an opportunity, measure performance, analyze the opportunity, improve performance, control performance. These are the 5 steps we can adapt. The first one is define an opportunity. In there we identify the serious problem with quality. Now, we have some issues, no, they have mentioned that there are some quality issues, right. So, measure performance, you analyze how current process is working. Next one is analyze the opportunity, no. Then you try to identify what are the contributory factors for the problem they face. Then improve performance, then you redesign the process and try to solve the problems. Control performance, so you adapt some control to ensure problem will not return and improvement are sustained. No? So, these are the 5 steps you have to use here. Right. There are some serious quality issues, no. This application is that. At the same time, even compliant lawyer has mentioned, no. So, second one, so theory should be mentioned, no. Measure performance, analyze the opportunity, again theory, improve performance, again theory, control performance, again theory. Only this application here is only about this quality problem company face. Even you can mention about the few legal cases they have, right. So, that only the application, then you have to end up with the theory actually in these questions. Right, we will see what the examiner tell on each part, then we can get a good idea actually. Definitely the performance of the student should be low here actually. Look at section 2, question number 3, what firstly he say. This question carries 50 mark and the average mark obtained was 15 marks. So, that means not even the pass marks, no. That means students have struggled in this part. So, this is the one area I think you have to work actually. So, this part of the questions, look at the A, what is the requirement of the A here? This ends up part. So, what are the weaknesses of the students? We will see. This part of the question carried 12 mark and the average mark obtained was poor. Most candidates correctly identify all four quadrants of ANSOP metric based on product and market. A few incorrectly identify the quadrant relevant to the new product and new market as differentiation instead of diversification. Majority have correctly identified. Then what is the issue actually? Theory part is known to them for no. A fair number of candidates were unable to adequately analyze the ANSOP metrics, taking into account the prevailing economic downturn in Sri Lanka. That application knowledge was not there. That is what examiner is mentioning here, right. So, he is giving some example under market penetrations, the stress of the strategy was not assessed. The prevailing import restriction, one of the concerns that need to be considered when explaining market development and product development were not considered. Those are common mistakes, issues. Then part B, assess the potential problem that could arise with the management of R&D within CAPL by considering the background detail of the company. What is the issue? This is more theory based questions, so only limited applications here. Right. So, what are the issues in the part B? We will see. Some candidate came out with potential problem that were vague and insignificant with regard to management of R&D within CPL. In fact, some problem they mentioned already exceed. Example problem with regard to TQM, prevailing outdated information technology, such pending legal issues. Cultural issues were also not identified by some candidate. So, here this application issue, no. Now, if you look at the examiner's answer here, the part B, now look at lot of application here, no. Now, only the theory part is not sufficient here. You have to come up with lot of applications. The first one is organization and management structure of CPL, CAPL. So, CPL has a separate department for R&D headed by a PhD holder. At that point, there is applications. No? Then financial aspects, see this how much we have spent on this one, you have to extract from the informations pre-seen, that was not done, no, right. The next, again evaluation and control, again some of the examples should be given. Cultural issues also, some examples should be given, especially with this PhD guy culture, you have to mention that one. Now, examiner says students have not properly identified those things. Now, the next one, so 5 C's. So, what examiner say on this 5 C's? All 5 C's were not considered by many candidates when analyzing the decision of CAPL. Example, company and competition were not taken into account when analyzing the decision under preference. People who have mentioned 5 C's could not properly analyze them. For example, some mention that foreign currency issues could be overcome by the inflow of USD. But how the foreign exchange risk can be managed should have been analyzed instead. Now, the example was under customer when candidates say that the existing local market could be expanded further, instead the possibility of expanding the market internationally could have been analyzed. Some candidate also mistakenly cited irrelevancies. So, this international market, no, this one. Last topic actually. Here see this, you have to use Omari 5 Cs, no, this 5 Cs should be used, not that 12 Cs. I mentioned that one earlier, that is not required. Here, so what you have to do is this Omari 5 C should be used. Right, he is given the word clearly, no, look at 5 Cs of Omari. Now see, even myself I contradicted, no, little bit at the beginning. There is another model for 12 Cs, no. Right, I will show you that one. Right. See, this 12 C work is there, no. Right, but this is not the one you have to use actually. So, you use what is given at the beginning. So, that word is given by him actually. The guy who has introduced that theory is been given. So, you have to use that 5 C's: customer, company, competition, currency, current, country. That 5 C should be used when you are developing answers on this. Right. So, what he say? So, students have used complete different points in there, right. What about the D? Crowd computing, that was more toward theory answer, no. We will see what are the issues here. To remember this D, it's more theory, no. Except this first point, I think other point actually you can just going through the theory easily. So, what are the issues? Some candidates just mentioned that cloud computing will help CAPL to store data, which was not the expectation of the examiner. Some provided general answers, example, business process could improve because of the cloud computing, speedy service will be provided, the customer base and revenue could be increased. What is the contributing factor for giving general answers? Lack of studies, not study the things, which only earn a few marks, not given the full marks, is giving a few marks for that one. Some candidates briefly state the benefit of cloud computing such as cost reduction, data security and self-service without demonstrating how cloud computing boasts benefit for CPL business in the context of new development associated with the digital business world. Then E, describe how the Six Sigma approach can be used. That is more obviously a more theory answer, no, we found, right, more theory answer, no. Except the first point, I think in other cases actually you have to introduce the theory, no, you have to present theory part in there. So, what do you say? Some candidate could not state and describe how the 5-step of the Six Sigma approach can improve the processes. Instead, they describe Six Sigma approach. Perfection is achieved by reducing the variance in a process. The Six Sigma approach rely heavily on statistical measurement theory only. Some of those who try to describe how the 5-step could be used to improve the processes were unable to describe the step adequately. Not study, no. That's why they are unable to mention the 5 steps. For example, under the step define an opportunity, some candidate just mentioned that quality-related campaigns need to be considered by CAPL. The nature of the problem, how it should be dealt with, etc. were not described. Another example was under the step analyze the opportunity. When the current process should have been analyzed in depth, the most important step analyze the opportunity was not done by most candidate. Lack of studies. So, what ultimately examiner say, see? So, he is bold it and tell what he is selling. Candidate are advised to self-study the textbook issued by CA Sri Lanka for areas that need further clarification. They should go through appropriate reading available on the relevant website. All questions are based on the textbooks. This examination contains questions on strategic framework, concept, theory, etc. that were tested in examination in different scenarios. You are also advised to go through past papers, suggested answers and examiner's comments that are available on the CA Sri Lanka website. So, number one thing examiner is asking you to do is go through the study facts carefully. And the second thing is asking you to do is go through past papers, suggestions, answers and examiner's comment. So, very important points he has mentions. Now, again I want to look at about what he has mentioned at the beginning of these questions. This question carries 50 marks and the average mark obtained was 15 marks. So, many students fail of this ML because of this question, lack of preparations. So, therefore, please give more attention to this, especially be familiarized with the preceding given, right, and try to do maximum number of analysis you can do it. So, with that, so we can complete the discussions of the question number 3 also, and it come to end our discussion on July 2022 SML paper. I hope you got something from that discussion. Thank you very much.